Testing, 1, 2, 3. Checking the audio levels for both the mic and the background music. I'm not sure if I can boost the mic, so what I'm going to do is probably lower the background music, but I'm going to test out being a little bit closer to the mic to see if that comes through a little bit louder. Hey, what's going on, Blue Dragon? I'm doing pretty good. Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream. we got a few things to work on tonight, but I'm running a little bit behind. I need to get some microphone settings adjusted and stuff and get that kind of situated real quick, and then we'll jump into, I guess, announcements type stuff, and then what we're going to be doing for the night. And it's going to be a pretty chill drawing session, as a heads up. But yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. Just grab some snacks and listen to some chill music as per usual. So just give me a moment while I fiddle with some settings. Should only take a few minutes. Can I boost mic in Windows 10? Hey, if you guys got any recommendations in the chat, let me know as well. For some reason, I feel like it's extra quiet today. Yo, what's up, Kage? I see you dropped in on the chat. Thanks for stopping by. The weird thing about Windows 10 is that, I don't know if whoever else uses Windows devices out there, but there's like two settings panels. There's like the classic one and then like a Windows 10 one, and they both have slightly different settings and what you can do. So sometimes it's hard to find exactly what I am looking for. Okay, so I think I found the area that I need to be at. Right click on the microphone and choose properties, and then go to levels. Looks like I'm at 100%. Well, hopefully you guys can let me know if you cannot hear me, but I guess we're just gonna go ahead and stick with this. I will go ahead and lower the background music a little bit. Alright, cool, perfect. Okay, so hopefully everyone can hear me decently well. Hope everyone's doing pretty good. Tonight had a good day. What I want to do for this stream is I am going to start with some warm-ups. At first I thought I was just gonna go ahead and jump right into drawing, but on this comic page, but I think I want to do some warm-ups first. And so tonight, if you guys want to draw along with the practices, we're gonna be drawing hands pretty much. So I know people are coming in at all kinds of skill levels, and I know I'll get a lot of viewers after the fact that I do this recording, but for the people that are here live, if there's certain things that you struggle with drawing hands, it'd be fun to have a discussion about it. I'll probably give some tips and advice myself and talk about the things that I personally struggle with, but if you guys want to share as well, then that's something that we can do as we go ahead and draw hands. So let me go ahead and share the screen that's gonna have what we're gonna be drawing from. And let's see if I can let's see here, see if this works. Does not look like it wants to show up right now, so all right. Match title, client area, capture person. We don't need that. I don't know if that overset it. Didn't, so we'll delete this. Okay. I just gotta add a source real quick. That's fine. I don't want to do that actually. Yeah, Blue, about the troubleshooting stuff, computers can be a pain to troubleshoot for sure, and when you go to look on forums and stuff, you'll get suggestions that are outdated or whatever the case may be, but I think I try my best. I don't know if I can boost it past 100%, so at this point just let me know if I'm too quiet, and at that point I'll literally just start talking louder. I'll just yell into the microphone. Media, display capture, screen capture, capture games, apps, do screen capture. And new source instead. Okay. I think we are in business now. Yes? Yes. Stream overlay. Let's just go ahead and pop this behind here like that. Okay. So hopefully you guys can go ahead and see my web browser now. Okay, so we're going to be doing drawing hands. We're going to be spending 120 seconds or 2 minutes on each one. Typically, I don't usually warm up for more than like 15 minutes or so because I'm time limited with how much time I have to draw. So we're going to try to do a quick warm up, try to get right into what it is that I wanted to accomplish today, which is going to be pretty much doing a study from No Guns Life. You guys saw a little bit of a comic page pop up when I opened up that web browser, and I'll talk about that more when it comes up, but that's going to be the meat of the video, and I'm just studying. This isn't something that I plan on posting or anything like that. I encourage this kind of study to other artists as well that are trying to pick up specific skills in a certain style or in like a certain field. So if you're interested in comic making, then study comic books, study manga, anything where people are telling stories through the visual arts. So anyways, we're going to jump into that later. Let's go ahead and do the hands. We got 2 minutes and we're going to go ahead and get started. So first one is going to probably be a little not so great, but you know, we just need to get started. Let me first get a pencil brush here. Let's see, pencil brush, pencil, maybe it's here? No. So I'm still getting used to Clip Studio Paint a little bit. It's pretty intuitive. I realize it's a lot like Photoshop actually, so not too much of a shock going between this and Photoshop, which is good. Okay, just want to make sure that's showing up nice and well. Go ahead and hide this. All right, we've only got 2 minutes, so we need to jump in right into it now. So yeah, how's everyone doing? What are you guys working on? What are you guys doing? I saw that your Dungeons and Dragons was canceled, unfortunately, Blue. But are you guys working on anything? Just chilling? What is going on? That's not good. I am drawing on the paper, which I do not want to do. Let's backtrack a little bit. Alright. Probably gonna run out of time. That's okay. Okay, yeah. It's okay. We can come back to this one later. Okay, so when I draw a hand, I usually like to kind of stick to the big shape first, and like the palm, pretty much the palm area, and then I like drawing the thumb in. I like drawing the thumb in first before I draw the fingers, and then when I draw the fingers, I kind of draw the fingers as one mass. And I don't know if you guys have heard of this. I guess this is maybe a pretty common thing, but I first learned about this quite a while ago. When I was first starting out, from a channel that was called Cartoon Block. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before. But it was a person named Evan, I think his name's Evan Burse. Basically I think he actually talked to someone who was like a guest artist, but they basically said that think of the hand as a mitten before you start adding in each of the digits. And so when they said that, they kind of explained, drawing in each of these, instead of drawing in each of these fingers, kind of imagine a mitten is kind of going over the entire hand, and then kind of go from there. And so that's what I like to keep in mind while I'm drawing hands, is that there's a big overall shape and then it's broken down into these individual shapes. But getting that big shape is going to give you the flow of the hand gesture, and then not only that, it becomes really easy to draw in the individual fingers because they all kind of fold in the same location, so they kind of all follow a same kind of flow, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so that's one of the processes. Another thing that I like to think about is this thumb. It's like first I'll draw the overall circle for the hand, and then I'll draw like this almost oval shape for the thumb, and then I kind of draw the. It's kind of like this is like the base of the thumb, and it's kind of like there's like this almost like weight and volume and kind of like fattiness almost to that region, to the thumb. And so I really like making sure I kind of delineate that helps me draw in the form of the thumb a little bit better. So again, I'll kind of draw this in as a mitten, and basically what I do is I look at the tips of all the fingers, and then I draw a curve that is really matching up to all the tips of the finger, and then I know where the fingers are going to be stopping, and then I can just come in and kind of noodle in the rest here. And I'm kind of noticing this little like V shape, like this shape right here. You see that a lot while drawing hands, so I'm kind of taking note of that at the moment. Okay, and then I've talked about this to death before, but sometimes I make it so that my the pen does not leave the paper, and using my pen pressure, I kind of make sure that I emphasize the outlines, but I use this kind of one line to find the shapes that I want, and it's kind of really just kind of exploring the volume, exploring the shapes with this line, and then when I'm ready to commit, I just simply darken the outline. This could be a great way to kind of get out of this mindset that the thing needs to be perfect or look perfect. You can find your perfection, so to speak, over time. You know what I mean? So I do this constantly to warm up, and it's really great because you're really practicing moving your whole arm and your whole hand on the page. So I know I always recommend this, but I really can't recommend that enough, that you try out this technique and see if it's beneficial to you at all. And in your journey of learning to draw a little bit better. Not draw perfect, but draw a little bit better. Okay, and I'm just gonna get to drawing. I'm just gonna focus for a little bit because I can tell that sometimes I'm like searching for things to say, and that'll distract me, and then I won't be focusing on the thing that I'm drawing. And my usual process, usually when I get in an explaining mode, I'll not draw typically the way I would draw if I'm just drawing for myself, but when I'm drawing to explain, I can change up my style, my speed, everything a little bit. So let me just go in here and do my thing, warm up. I feel like I'm a little bit out of practice, and I don't know. I feel like that way a lot actually, because the thing is I'm trying to bounce between learning how to draw a lot of different things. So it's like learning how to draw the human figure, hands, feet, but then I switch over to like trying to figure out how to draw backgrounds, environments, and I switch over to character design because I'm designing characters and all that kind of stuff. And with drawing each of those things, at least for me, it's a different process for each one, right? My fundamentals remain the same of learning to draw with shapes and line width and things like that, but at the same time, like, I have to be in a different, I don't know if you guys do this as well, but like I have to be in a certain zone or like a certain like mind state to be able to draw like a specific thing. Like if I'm doing environments, I'm thinking differently, I'm using a different drawing process and everything like that. And I literally have like a little like journal section where I keep notes on like what music to listen to, what thoughts I need to be thinking about in order to kind of get into the zone to draw that specific kind of thing. Okay, so right now I feel like I'm being a little bit too static with my lines, so coming straight into this one, I already feel like I'm trying to add a little bit more energy to my lines and be a little bit looser with things, but I feel like I'm being a little bit too tight, as if I'm trying not to make mistakes and I'm trying to be like too accurate with things. And I know with the practice that I'm going to do next, I need to be a little bit more loose with my lines and stuff in order for it to reach the effect that I'm going to be trying to reach with that practice and that study. So for these next few hands, I'm going to try to speed the process up. And you can notice that sometimes I'm running out of time, and that's always a good reminder that I'm drawing too slow or that I'm being too careful with my lines. And this is one of those things where it's like this is about speed, not it's about learning, but it's not about line quality. It's about quality but not line quality, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's try to speed up yet again. Still ran out of time that time. And so I just want you guys to pay attention how like I'm finding shapes and I'm finding rhythms. I'm finding the relationship between everything that goes on in the hand. And it's almost like drawing is sometimes like a puzzle where you're like figuring out how stuff is pieced into the other thing. And the more you practice, the better you get at piecing it together and understanding the pieces and why these pieces go together like this. And you don't need to know why everything all at once, but as you continue to draw, you're naturally going to make observations. And each time you draw, hopefully you're like starting to pick up new things each time, but just let it kind of come naturally and let it come through muscle memory. It's like playing an instrument almost, where sometimes you just have to let your body do the thing instead of your mind getting in the way. And if you don't follow the picture exactly, that's fine. That's something that you can look back on and reflect and say, well, this didn't turn out so well because I forgot, this or that. Like this finger right here comes out way too far, and that's something that I would correct coming back to this. Blue says, yeah, it's cool. I'm trying to get my Friday page done, so probably a good thing. Thinking about cancel. Well, yeah, maybe you got that time to work on it then. Sounds like you're working on it. It sounds like that's the plan at least. So, best of luck to you. Which comic is it for? I know sometimes you do like little side projects, little side comics and stuff, so I don't know if it's for the main story that you're working on or not. Just give it a minute. Clip Studio is doing some type of saving activity. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not really satisfied with the hands that I'm drawing right now. Can't tell if it's this particular tool I'm using or what, but I feel like I'm not good enough getting the detail and everything. Alright, let's just have fun and use a different kind of brush, see what happens. Choose something that's got a little bit more definition here. See what we can do with this brush. This is literally just a pixel brush, and I don't know, I use this pixel brush a lot when I'm just thumbnailing. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out this relationship is coming up here, right? And it's connecting down here to the rest of the fingers. This finger juts out, it's coming back in. It kind of meets up with this guy. I didn't enjoy using this brush either. It's not bad. Maybe this is not actual black. No, it's black. I don't know. Here we go. Let's try this again. Yep, just working on the revamp pages. I had to put it on hold on Comic Fury for now. Oh, cool. Revamp pages. Are you? How much are you revamping? How much are you redoing? And yes, you have a stylus, right? Like using a drawing pad of some sort. Yeah, I draw directly onto my laptop screen. I guess it's kind of like a Cintiq in that way. It is not a one of those where you have to do those weird things where you're looking at you're drawing on a tablet, but you're looking at a separate screen. So it's a little bit easier than that. Alright, so we are trying to follow the form as close as we can. And this type of practice is also good for drawing in real life, where you're trying to quickly capture details. Very nice, very nice. Where did you get that? I think that'll match the character pretty well. Very nice, very nice. Hey, let's go. Alright, let's do one more hand. And we will move on. Okay, so again, start with the circle to represent the palm. I like to come in and kind of cut off this, make this section with like this different kind of oval, and then I like to show that this is the base of the thumb kind of connecting to it. I use a little bit of like a cylinder, and then I use like this tapered shape where you kind of use this C curve, and you connect it just like that. So you have that, then you kind of flatten off the top of the circle for where the fingers are connected. You come down here and then you drop in the wrist at whatever angle that your hand model has. And by the way, like I done a lot of hand practice just based off of my own hand, and like when I'm drawing poses and stuff, half the time I'll reference myself first, because I know I can kind of get it exactly how I want it to look. So so another little trick is divide this thing in half to kind of get a general feel for about how thick each finger should be, and then that can really help you to determine the placement and also the thickness of each individual figure. And then as we're going through and drawing these hands, try to commit some of this to memory, so that way you can start drawing some of this from memory. So we're gonna go ahead and stop session there. We're gonna go ahead and open up that last one that we just did, and kind of just finish it up a little bit. We'll add in some final details here. Go like that. Looks good. Alright. Something like that. Looks good. And then Alright, so, well, if you followed along, hopefully you got a little bit out of that. Hopefully you feel nice and warmed up and ready. If you're working on stuff, hopefully you got some work done. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and save that out and go ahead and exit from there. And we'll go ahead and close out of these tabs, which will hopefully make my computer run a little bit smoother. Let's see what we got. No. Okay. So we wait for that to load a little bit. Oh god, I can't use those. I got one because it's cheaper, but like I cannot make the brain connect. Yeah, there's two things to I don't know why I'm blanking on the name for them right now. Let me trying to remember it. But yeah, the drawing tablets where like you're not drawing directly on the screen what you're seeing, there's definitely a disconnect, and it does take a little bit to get used to. So there's that, like right off the bat, like kind of figuring out, kind of calibrating, because you're like calibrating your hand and your eyes really to that specific kind of tablet. But even after you do calibrate, I don't, maybe there's someone out there, but personally, all the people that I've talked to, it takes a lot more time to draw on a tablet like that, because it's hard to get the lines exactly in the right place. So you have to undo a lot more than if you were just drawing directly onto the page, the screen that is showing you where you're drawing. So I honestly think it's worth it if that's going to be like your main tool for creating, you know, a comic, and you're gonna be doing that like for hours. I would try to figure out what's the cheapest way to get one where you can draw on the screen, because that's like, I don't know. I've done the latter for a long time, probably like I don't know, years, let's just say years. And this Switch was nice, and I enjoyed the Switch, so. Absolutely. Okay, so I'll keep going through the comments, but I'm gonna take a minute to just explain what we're doing here, so anyone that's here, or anyone that watches this in the future, they can know exactly what's going on, because as a beginner or even intermediate person, it might be a little bit confusing, especially if you've gotten the advice like don't copy other people's artwork. So that's not, I would say that's not what we're doing here. This is what I would consider a study, and every study is different. But before you can think about doing a study, you need to think about why you are studying that specific piece of media and what you're hoping to learn from it and draw from it. So no pun intended there. So what I like to do is actually like physically either write something down with like paper, pencil, or digitally typing it out. Like I will type out exactly what it is that I want to study. So in this case, I really wanted to study composition, page flow, and the use of blacks, and like the ink work kind of overall. And another thing that I want to study and experiment, this is kind of not so much part of the study, but more so like experimentation. There's a certain style that I'm working on that is supposed to kind of carry a lot of energy and rhythm and movement in the lines, and so In order to practice that, I'm very loose with my lines. So just as you saw with the warm-up, I use like one line, that kind of thing. That was to kind of get my whole arm moving. So hopefully that warm-up has helped a bit, but I'm going to try to make the lines as dynamic as possible. And so the purpose of this is to not make a a one-to-one replication. It's to, again, accomplish those very specific goals that I have in mind, so that I can apply that in my own future pages and own future work. And also sometimes it's kind of like a good way to warm up as well, because let's face it, when you're drawing, there's a lot of stuff that you have to figure out, but if you can narrow it down to just you're only trying to figure out one thing, or only trying to study one thing, it can kind of give you the confidence that you need to explore that one thing, instead of being just overwhelmed and feeling like you can't get anything right, and then you don't even have the motivation to get that piece done because you took on a little bit too much at once. So as I guess kind of further explanation, even when you're not doing a study and that's giving you confidence because you kind of know generally what the end look will be like, if you're drawing a composition or a piece, you don't jump in and start doing the dynamic lines, the finished ink work, and the details, the cross hatching. You would first start off with like a very, very, very small thumbnail with a big brush or marker or something to get the general shapes going in, right? And so the first step is just to focus on composition, and then the next step is to focus on maybe like characters and the mannequins, and then the next step is to add clothing or whatever the case may be. But especially as a beginner, like once you get really, really advanced, you can start combining those steps, but as an intermediate, even to an advanced level artist, you really do have to break it down in steps. It's not until you like fully master something where you can maybe start to blend a lot of the steps together. That's going to take a lot of time and a lot of drawings. That's not going to be something attainable within a few weeks of drawing or a couple months of drawing. That's when you're at that level, you're pretty much like people like Kim Jung-ji and a lot of other people that can pull out everything all at once because they've drawn all that stuff before and they know what exactly it looks like, both in their head and also technically they know how to draw it all. So anyways, all that to be said is that we're focusing on one thing at a time, and this is one way to do it, and this is what we're studying and kind of how to make use of this practice. So I do encourage people that are into making comics, making manga, at least try this at least like once in your career. I would recommend doing it a couple times a year, maybe, just to brush up on a few things or learn a few things, or just to help you kind of expand your style and your horizon. Because it's one thing to look at art, but it's another thing to try to replicate a piece of art and what techniques go into it. Okay, so you can see I've already gotten started on this. You can see it's not a one-to-one copy already, and we're gonna keep going with that approach. You can even see how I'm changing the style of the characters' faces and this and that, and that's because the actual style doesn't matter so much to me. I'm more so just looking at the composition and the cross-hatching and the use of blacks. So we're gonna keep on going through here. Yo, what is up, Ice Bear Shinobi? How's it going? One thing that I really appreciate about this person that I'm studying is that they they're very expressive with the line work. So I really like that. And almost like it almost looks like they're carefree with their lines, but it's not. It's almost like controlled chaos of sorts. Alright, Blue says, I started redoing, this is kind of jumping back, but basically Blue was working on a revamp of her story. So they said, I started redoing the whole thing back in 2019. I'm just now starting to get to pages from last year. It's nice because I can keep some of the newer old pages, and it's still a lot of work. Oh yeah. Well, you know how it is since you've been reworking Ignition. Exactly. But hey, stick to it. You got this. Those reworks are never easy, but it is really cool to see how much you improve when you're going back and redoing pages and even just redoing writing and stuff like that. It's awesome to see how much you grow, within a certain amount of time. And alright, let's go ahead and create a new folder. What is this? Alright, make a new folder. It really gives you perspective on, oh, I don't like how that happens. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, it kind of gives you a little bit of a sneak peek on how far you've come, and that is always a good thing to do as an artist, to like truly like for yourself see your own progress, because it's a big confidence boost that you are focusing on the right things and that you've learned a lot. And for me personally, it gets me excited to continue to draw, because it's like if I saw that amount of improvement in that amount of time, like think like another year from now, like what I'll be able to create and accomplish. So that's the cool part about doing reworks for sure. And yeah, as you mentioned, I'm doing a rework for my story, and I can say that, well, like I'm kind of the art style is probably gonna maybe change up a little bit, but the main thing was like the story and the writing aspect of it. And when I started it, I was just like, I have the general concept and idea, and I kind of know where I want to go, but I don't have anything planned. And this revamp, like I'm actually doing all the steps of like the writing process, and everyone's writing process is different, of course, but I think I am getting a whole lot out of actually following a little bit of a process this time and actually watching more YouTube videos and just learning a little bit more about that in general. It's giving me a lot of insight to how maybe some things like beforehand weren't structured all that great and whatnot, and now like I am more certain about the story, and so I think those are all good things, and hopefully like it'll really show in the improvement of the story moving forward, and you guys will be able to see how like everything kind of connects now, all the different characters and these background details and the dialogue and stuff. I feel like everything has much more reason and more purpose now that I've been able to do a rewrite. So I don't know if I guess I can just ask you, are you doing a rewrite as well, or are you just kind of revamping some of the artwork in the pages? Because that is, definitely a different process, a different beast, I guess. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, the story ignition that I'm working on is, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like an ode to a lot of things, but it's really a kind of look into engineering and the career and profession that I chose. It's a bit of a also a critique on society, on technology and what it means to us, what it does to us, and how much control we have over it, and vs how much control it has over us. And it's going to be kind of asking a lot of different questions that I think that are going to be relevant today, but have been relevant since the dawn of time. Like something that we always have to think about and ponder, and hopefully I'm not trying to tell anything super crazy new, but hopefully the way that I tell it is unique and inspiring, and encourages people to kind of take a different look at just like STEM related fields, and also feel more comfortable I guess engaging with it. That's what I want really to do with the story, is make something that for a lot of people it's really dry. Like when people talk about STEM and stuff and math, like it's typically pretty dry and like academic, but I want to make something that makes it both fun, engaging, and accessible. That's like the big thing, making it accessible to a large audience that is willing to put some time in and read the story and kind of see what are the type of things that I'm trying to tell with it. And if that sounds long-winded and stuff, which it probably is, then you can just read the synopsis for the story on my website, and you can see what little stuff that I have there already. Thanks Kage, thanks Blue. Yeah, at the very least it's a passion. It's a passion project, and when I thought of it, I was like, I'm going to do this regardless of if I have a funding for it or not. So yeah, with the passion project type of thing, I guess, I don't know, I want to tell the story for myself first and foremost, but I don't know, when it all starts coming together, I do think people will, I think they'll be able to get a bit out of it, even if it's not even their kind of like genre of story. I want it to be pretty like heartfelt and like honest in its storytelling. I wanted to cover more topics, of course, than just technology. It's gonna cover like loneliness and family and just like issues that people have to deal with in everyday life. Class issues, race issues, just things that weigh on people's mind, and you have to figure out how to navigate all of it on the daily. And it's totally the perspective of someone that's fairly young, so I think it'll be fairly accessible to all ages, both young and old. So I don't know, guys. We'll see. But yeah, I do have to say, I'm like really excited right now because like I've been finding more like art communities that are tight knit, and the discussions and stuff that we have are very inspiring, and just seeing other people's work and things of that nature is kind of just pumped me up even more. And I just keep on like thinking I wish I had like a little bit more time to like flesh things out. Like I wish I was one of those artists that could draw super quick, and actually that's what I'm doing this style study. I'm actually doing pretty bad right now. I should be working quicker, but the idea of doing the style study was I'm trying to develop a style that's quick enough so that I can still participate in this competition that the collective is doing. I'm not sure if I will be able to or not, but if I can kind of figure out how to create pages in an efficient manner, then maybe it's possible. And I looked at this person's art style, and I just like that the art was so good, and I was like, how do I combine it with my style and simplify and create something that I will be able to make pages that have enough polish that people can see and read through, but don't necessarily take for ages. And I honestly think that these, I don't know how quick this person works, but it's very detailed. Again, it's like controlled chaos, so I can't tell exactly how long it takes, but I imagine these pages probably take a while. So I'm trying to absorb all the good stuff I like about it, but really kind of put it into my own style and make it quick enough. So we shall see. But anyways, if I do illustrate for this competition, it's going to be about the story Ignition. I'm not going to tell you how it would fit in or anything, but it would be a part of the same world essentially. And I have an idea for it. I just want to block out some time and space to actually be able to do it. Yeah, exactly, Blue. Like people that it's great when they do have the support to back it up, but if there's a person working on something regardless, because that's tough, to support your own passion project. So if they're still working on it, regardless if people are supporting it, then you can tell they're putting their love into it. And I don't know. I personally like a lot of indie type of stuff, like indie games, indie stories, that kind of thing, because I think the vision usually comes out a bit stronger when it's an individual that's very passionate about their work and they're exploring it, and they have a small team, or maybe it's just themselves. I think that's possible with comics. Video games, it's harder, but there's still indie game creators that do it all by themselves. Like Undertale's a great example of that, right? But the style has to be simple enough that they can handle everything all at once. But yeah, a lot of like one, I don't know. Yeah, I guess they're kind of like one-hit wonders ish. Kind of come from passion projects, and so yeah. I am all about it. I'm here to support that kind of stuff, and it'd be amazing to have like the money and time to support much more projects besides my own. That'd be awesome to have like you know there's like grants and stuff, but basically the ability to be able to give people the opportunity to flesh out their passion project. This G Pen in Clip Studio Paint is really nice. It reminds you of this pen that I was using in Photoshop. And this is kind of like an equivalent of it, but it's a default brush. Like that other brush that I'm talking about, I had to make edits to, and it was kind of like a custom brush. But I'm really impressed with the types of brushes that Clip Studio Paint has to offer just right off the gate. And there's a few other brushes that I downloaded from their like asset section that have also been pretty great. But yeah, their default stuff is pretty good, which I guess makes sense because it's like, that's what I like about this program. It's literally dedicated to making manga, so all the features for it just make it really easy to create comics. There's even like a way where you can make panels like super easy. I'm still messing around with it and experimenting with it, but that's something that I want to perhaps make use of for the future as well. Thank you, thanks. Appreciate it. Means a lot. And it's like, yeah, I'm rooting for all of you guys out there as well. Like, the reason I started this channel was that there was so little information when I first started about how to create comics, and so like I just wanted a one-stop shop for people getting into it, about like, this is what the process actually looks like, here are all the steps, all the resources that you have to make use of, because I was like so shocked to see and read some of these things about like how manga is produced, and a lot of it's like really incredible, but learning some of the techniques that people use to do backgrounds and what tools they use. Um, there was a lot of things where I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh, I thought those literally all came from imagination, but upon learning upon the resources that people call upon to create the art that they do, it gave me a lot more like clarity of what to focus on, what to learn, and also it helped me realize how exactly I can reach my own personal goal of drawing stuff completely from imagination. And I kind of just want to be able to share, I guess, this part of the journey with other people, because I don't know, maybe other people didn't have that experience, and maybe like I don't know how they would find out this information, but maybe in like school, maybe people go to like art school and find it out, but yeah, I was shook when I found out that people drew over pictures for backgrounds, and they would like go out and take their own photo references and stuff. Like, I legit thought everything was like coming straight from the dome, and like even things with like this detailed art, I thought they drew at the exact size that you bought the comic books or the manga books had. And it's like, you guys know how small manga books are, and I was so confused how they would get such precise lines and this and that on such a small medium. And I think the single most important resource for me to start to under things were a combination. I think Bakuman, which I'm sure all of you guys already know, so I won't talk about it too much. But basically the manga series about creating a manga series highlighted a lot of like the industry practices and standards and stuff like that. That gave me a lot of perspective on like how these types of works were created, and perspectives that I just didn't have before, or really understand before, or grasp before. And so yeah, I learned the most from that. And then of course like YouTube, and that's why I started a YouTube channel, because I still felt there was some things lacking here and there in art instruction and in comic making instruction. And of course I can only provide so much, but hopefully I can fill in some pieces that are missing, like perspective videos I've always found to be really bad. I know we were just talking the other day about white manga, but I think that him, along with Mark Crilly, and I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but I think his name is like Mick. It might be Michael, but it's like Mikhail Dingle Sebastian. Let me look what his Instagram name is. I know you guys are gonna know who I'm talking about. His story is Mythalica. I think he's working on a whole bunch of different stuff now. He's got like this Sorceress story and a few others, but yeah, they were like young individuals as well. Well, besides Mark Crilly, he actually was in the industry, but they were young individuals as well, and they were kind of trying to expose, or I guess, give us some exposure into how they were working. And that was some helpful insight to see how at least these other artists were, kind of doing things, and trying to learn what I could from that. Yeah, oh my goodness, yeah, it's crazy how little information there is, and honestly it continues to be. There's so many art education YouTube channels, like, the basic how to draw stuff, and then when it comes to like writing for comics and creating for comics, there's like only like one, and I didn't even know about them until I think Blue maybe recommended them, or someone else I was talking to, but McKay and Gray, that's like, I didn't find out about that until like a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago. And the crazy thing is, there's so many techniques and things to learn about this profession, about this industry, and I don't know if it's a little bit of like safeguarding and like gatekeeping, but as an independent creator and someone that's not doing this for profit, I feel like it's important that people are able to tell the stories that they want to tell, and I feel like everyone should have access to that, whether you have the money to go to art school or not. Like, if you want to have the ability to enter the art world and tell a story, I feel like you should have the education to be able to do so, because honestly I feel like that's something that could be provided in schools, and oftentimes is they're just it's not helpful enough to really get you started. But I don't know, I guess I'm a little bit rambling right now, which is okay. But yeah, all that to be said, I feel like there's a lack of information for us artists, and us beginner artists. I include myself in that list. That's why I'm doing these studies, because it's like I'm learning something new every single day, and the reason I created this channel is to just keep track of what I'm learning, and then maybe it's helpful for someone else, maybe like how watching white manga was helpful for me. Maybe someone coming along watching this, it might be helpful for them. So yeah, I really hope to see more people explaining their process. And that's the thing, it's like, I don't think it could be necessarily like one YouTube channel that does it all, because if you're working in a different medium, you're using a different set of tools or a different program, like people kind of need to know about like that program or that specific set of tools, or that specific art style, and what are the different processes that I can use in order for them to understand, and then to be able to develop their own process. Because like throughout all of this, I have developed a unique style and a unique process of my own, but I needed something to kind of expand what it is that I could practice, and what it is that I can do, what is out there. So yeah, anyways, it's always cool to see what you guys are up to as well. I was just telling Blue a little bit ago, I wish, or like I'm trying to keep up with like what everyone's up to, and videos they're posting and stuff, but I really enjoy doing that, and kind of seeing what's going on, seeing what everyone else is working on and doing as well. Yeah, I feel like I need to I feel like I need to get some copies or something of Apple Black. I feel like it's been going on for so long, but like I know so little. I think I read like a demo of it some time ago, but seems like that dude manages a lot of stuff. Um like yeah, it seems like he manages a lot of stuff at once. He's doing a lot. I'm not trying to do that much. But yeah, I do want to see his story, see if it's interesting. So that's kind of part of the problem sometimes of like doing YouTube and stuff, is that it does take time, and it's like, does it take away time for you actually, creating that project that you want to create? And so like my approach to it has been, okay, well, I'm going to use my YouTube channel to, work on the stuff that I need to work on anyway, exercises that I need to do, things that I need to study, while providing hopefully something of value for listeners and watchers that are coming through and watching videos. So yeah, hopefully it's a good range of content, and I want to do artist interviews again because there's a lot of talent, and even if my channel doesn't get that many views, I do want to not expose that makes it sound bad. I want to give exposure. I want to give shine light on another artist, and it's even more than that. I feel like it's just a great way to like have a discussion, and it's a great way for an artist to be able to explain their style and their work and what it is that they're interested in a more, I guess, engaging and fun way, because it's more so a conversation than just reading like an FAQ or something like that. But yeah. Oh, we got some thoughts. Got some thoughts on Apple Black. I mean, are they the way you say that, it makes it sound like it's a little bit on the critical side of things, but I'm all ears. As long as it's obviously not too harsh, because we're not gonna talk bad about anyone here. But at the same time, I feel like it's probably hard to manage writing a story while doing all the different things that he does, and yeah, I don't know. I want to check it out for myself at some point in time and just kind of see what's up. But either way, just his stuff has helped me out. So it's like, I'm gonna be honest, like I wasn't necessarily watching his YouTube videos because I was that interested in the story. I just like seeing the behind the scenes, and I'm sure that's gonna be the same thing with my viewers, because it's like my stuff is just educational content in general. So, and also, like, I'm not gonna lie, like I've written in stories before and I've worked on comics before, but I'm an amateur, so this story, this passion project isn't going to be perfect, but I think the way I've structured it is that I can keep on growing with it, and it's not going to be like my final, this isn't like the final like project type of thing. Like, I'm banking my career on this. This is just something I'm really, really excited about, and I see a lot of potential in, and I may not have the skills to like really pull it off the way I want to pull it off, but just like you just got to do it. At some point in time, you just got to do it. You got to say, your art may not be up to, it may not be perfect, I should say. Your art may not be perfect, your story may not be perfect, but it's like the only way you're going to tell if it's not perfect or where it needs improvement is to just, kind of just stop talking about it and just do it. And it's like, that's why I don't really be talking about it that much, because like I'd rather just do it and allow people to come up with their own opinions and not be like, feel like excited or hyped for something and then feel like let down because it didn't meet their expectations. Like, I don't want to give people expectations necessarily. I mainly just mention it so that people know that I am, actively working on something, working on visual storytelling, working on comics. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put this on a separate layer. So this is kind of like an interesting fill for the blacks. So let's try something out with that. I would rather you read it and we talk about it because I don't want to influence your thoughts. Hey, that's a good point. That is a very good point, because I feel like I don't like that sometimes, like going into a piece of media and it's like, even if it's like something good and people are really excited about it, and it's like, then I'm like, waiting for that thing to happen or expecting this or that, and it's like, I kind of like being able to, judge a work as I'm going through it and seeing where the highs and lows are. But yeah, I mean, y'all be having your manga book club discussions, which I need to get on. But I need to catch up with stories first before I do that. But that's fair. One of these days I'm gonna pick up a copy for sure. So, at least tell me this, I guess kind of like how much story is there? Is it ongoing? Will I be frustrated reading to the end because there's we'll be expecting something to come after it? So I got, he said we're finishing Pluto this month and it's been a ride. I downloaded this thing because I have Android. It's called Tachiyomi, and it's basically a way to kind of read manga on your phone. It's actually the best manga reading experience, and I have like Viz and like actual like paid for subscriptions, and I prefer Tachiyomi. So I downloaded Pluto, but I'm like started it. I started reading and I got through like the first page and then I got distracted and haven't read any past that. But that was like, because you guys have been reading that for months now. and like I literally just got it, so it's probably not feasible for me to catch up. But I've seen some other work from that dude, I'm pretty sure, because that dude did 21st Century Boys, correct? Or am I way off the mark there? So, yeah, the way Def recommended has 2 volumes worth at the moment. So, wait, does Apple Black have 2 volumes worth? Or are you talking about Pluto? I would imagine you're talking about Apple Black. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading through it then, even though I'll miss all the discussions. I couldn't, on my very limited reading, I couldn't tell exactly what kind of story it was gonna be yet, but the art seemed interesting and the characters seem interesting. The story looks like it can be interesting too, so I'll keep going with it when I have some free time here and there. Okay, Apple Black, yeah. And yeah, he did 21st Century Boys. I didn't finish that series, but I'm pretty far. One of these days I'm gonna have to sit down and finish it. I think I got far at least. I was at the last thing I remember, though I don't know if this is where I read up to. Maybe I read past further, but some scientist was developing like some kind of like giant robot kind of thing. Honestly, don't remember too much from the story, but I remember it being really interesting. Like every chapter, you're just like, okay, well, I want to see what happens next. Like I want to see what happens next. So it just kind of keeps on pulling you along. Like it had good energy in that sense. All right, what is it? 10:04. I think I'm gonna go to about 10:30 and call it a night, guys. And I can tell I've spent a lot more time on this top panel than I had on these bottom two. And that's honestly not my goal. I just spend a lot of time. I should be working quicker, but I'm also just enjoying the discussion and enjoy kind of drawing at a slower pace, to be honest with you. But honestly, my style is gonna have to be quicker if I'm gonna be able to reach any kind of deadlines. So I don't know. Need to work at a quicker pace. I sometimes watch his art channel. He's got solid art. Even if you don't like it, I'd be willing to talk to you about it because hearing thoughts are always a good time. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. And it's like, yeah, even if it's after the fact. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunity to still discuss. Okay, so this dude is in the foreground, like, and his shoulder's actually coming up kind of high. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to work with a style that's like, you know, sketchy, obviously, so I can come in and do these lines quick, but then at the same time, like, yeah, I really want the ability to, you know, make it look like final artwork, even though it's gonna have some like sketchy qualities to it. I want people to be like, yeah, it's easily readable. I can tell what's going on within the panels and the scene and stuff. But I want that dynamicism because, you know, I'm gonna want these things to kind of jump off the page, and that these images are really coming to life. And so, literally all the iterations of my style, even though it's changed so much, I've always focused on movement, and that's, you know, partly because like I love music and I love dancing, and so like I gotta figure out a way to kind of incorporate that in my art. And then I guess kind of another explanation for it is like, I guess my style is like hip hop, in terms of like, you know, the elements of hip hop, and kind of the energy behind it, the energy behind like graffiti artwork. So, you know, there's some elements of that, you know, it's not that specifically, but I'm just thinking about it and thinking about like the art book that I now own, but I would read all the time as a kid, was like how to draw hip hop, and it sounds like it would be a pretty inauthentic book, but honestly, the artist that created the book is like incredible, and yeah, his name is Damian Scott. You guys might know him, might not. He's not like, you know, one of those people where his name comes up that much, but I've been following his work for a long time now, and he's worked with like the Black Eyed Peas. I think he's got a studio stationed in Tokyo, Japan. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? I don't know too much about him as a person, but his art is the real deal for sure. And I remember thinking it was like super simplistic, and then I realized he's just so good at like simplifying forms and making them read, in that's actually a lot more complicated than I was giving him credit for when I was like really young and just like a noob artist. And I'm like, yeah, he's good, but like, you know, is he like that good? And like now I have a much better appreciation for someone that can simplify shape and forms that I may not have had before, and so his stuff is pretty incredible too. So check him out, maybe, if you don't know about him. Sure, I'll go ahead and put his name in the chat. He's done a lot of work for DC and Marvel, like Batgirl and Spider-Man, that kind of thing. Oh, this face is looking pretty shabby, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna work with it. By the way, we're gonna try to work on getting some, different. We'll work on getting more music on the channel as well. Right now, I'm just using chill hop because my videos won't get flagged. But I think there's gonna be some artists that I'll be able to use from like Spotify. So there's like some variation. Again, for the people that are new here, all my streams will be able to be found on my Patreon. I haven't double checked. I think I've made them free, but I do not want to clutter up my YouTube channel. So if you want to see old videos of streams, you can go there. If you enjoy seeing my process or my work, or you want to, you're trying to learn about the process more, you'll be able to see me working there. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I want to try maybe to use Patreon more, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. I kind of just want to focus on drawing, and thinking about uploading there often kind of is like, yeah, maybe I'll spend my time doing something else. But I do have content up there. It's mainly just for like people that want to casually support, because there's different tiers. But hey, let me show you guys something I've been working on music wise, and they're just little mini beat snippets that I create because I'm working on just trying to find my soundscape that I want to work with them. And so yeah, let me know what you think. But yeah, so I would say that I'm heavily influenced by like piano music. I love listening to piano music and jazz, and this is kind of like a swing band infusion, kind of with like a very hip hop oriented beat, which is typically, I should say typically, all beats, drum lines, it can be simple, it can be really complex. I typically stick with a very simple beat line and then drop in kind of the rest of the instruments and stuff. Okay, this arm looks so funky. We're gonna keep working on this a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna add in these blacks now, and let's see. The way we're going to approach it is we're just gonna go in and fill all of it in with black, and then we're gonna go ahead and erase out the parts that we don't want to be filled in with the colored black. So we'll go ahead and deselect that, and then we'll go ahead and lower the opacity so we can kind of see what we're doing a little bit better behind the scenes. But anyways, we're gonna take our eraser, and first of all we're gonna cut out where her head is first and foremost, and then that's cool. Okay, we're gonna do something like that. Then we're gonna come back in with the G pen and this crotch hatching is interesting, an interesting effect. I don't think I like my approach just yet. It's not giving off the look that I want, and that's okay. Alright, I guess I'll just play some random music that I'm working on for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know the word for that kind of trumpet sound, to be honest with you. But I certainly am trying to kind of find my own kind of sound and my own soundscape for the story. And hopefully that will help, you know, make this experience that much more unique. So, I don't know. We are really, when I go to create music, I'm really just having fun, so that's what I'm kind of doing. So just like with art, you know, I guess music is art too, huh? But I don't know, the most important thing is to have fun and let everything kind of come after that. Okay, so we're gonna put this in the background. We're gonna add a layer on top of it, and now we're gonna work on these police officers. And there's something that I want to try. First of all, let's get rid of the blue lines. Which, by the way, in Clip Studio Paint, it's super easy to create those blue lines. Like if you've created a line work, and you just you guys can't see it, but it says change layer color, and immediately changes it to blue, and then you can draw on top of it, which is super helpful. Yeah, when you're doing like your rough sketch, then you want to come back and you do the final sketch, and it's just like an easier way to always get that consistent blue color. It's a very small thing, but I appreciate the small things too. Okay, move on to a different song. Yeah, blue. I currently use a software called LMMS. It's free to use, and it's also, what is it called? Open software? I think that's the word. You might know. I think you may know the name the term that I'm trying to think of, but basically, people have access to the code, and it's a free to use program. And it's really powerful. If you're like a beginner producer, it's great to kind of just go ahead and get your, feet wet with the software. It's got, all the features that you can probably want. The only downside I have with it is that sometimes they're called VSTs, and basically they're your virtual instruments. Sometimes they won't load properly. That can be a pain. But other than that, the overall experience is pretty good, I would say. That. You select that, and we take this brush tool. What is that on multiply? What is happening here? I wonder why the fill color is different than this color. That doesn't make too much sense to me. I think music in a lot of ways is like art. There's no wrong way to do it, so it's I can definitely feel why, or how people feel like they can't create music, but I do think that yeah, it's one of those things where when I first downloaded LMMS, I had some piano training beforehand, but I've never played any other instrument besides the piano, and it was really fun to just go in and mess around and experiment. So it's if you have a personality where you just experimenting with things, it's a lot of fun to create music, because that's all it is. Trying different things out and whatnot. Okay, so we're trying out screen tones a little bit. That's pretty cool. Being able to just drop that in so easily. And now just seeing kind of how these blacks interact. I should say these black fills. I don't know. Perhaps I'm just overthinking, but yeah, just saying black sounded kind of weird. Anyways, we have that filled in now. We're gonna turn this opacity down so we can erase some of these fill areas. Okay, and then we're gonna take a look at these screen tones. We're gonna honestly drop the opacity down. And what we're gonna do is it looks like there's some screen tone applied to this area as well. So we're just gonna go and grab this as well. And not being super careful here, because like what I'm realizing is that, you know, when you're doing art traditionally, like you can't be as precise as you are when you're doing it digitally, right? So it's like, if it still looks good with some margin of error from traditional, then yeah, it's gonna look pretty good digitally if there's some error as well. So keep that in mind if you have a perfectionist mindset. Okay, so anyways, it's almost coming up on 8:30, so I think I am going to make that my kind of cutoff time for things for the most part. But yeah, as you can tell with these, I call them just beat snacks because they're just really, they're mini loops, and usually just to explore some kind of expression of some sort. So this one was made specifically to invoke a sense of industrialism, which, you know, industrialism is going to be one of the themes in the story that I'm working on. Okay, so this is where we got to today. And I'm pretty happy overall. Let's see, turn this back on. I think overall style-wise, this is a style that can kind of work in. I do just need to work on simplifying and speed. And I think I'm gonna have the tools to kind of be able to pull off what I want to be able to pull off. I don't know if there's some lag just personally on my YouTube, so I'm gonna quit out and come back in. How about you guys? Is there any lag? I guess you guys won't be able to tell, huh? But yeah, I think I'm gonna, oh, there's actually one more thing that I want to do before I clock out here, and that is to add in these little little things for his wire thing coming up here. I'm not sure exactly what it is. We'll put on a new layer just in case I don't like the effect that it gives. So we'll go ahead and add these in. But anyways, thank you guys for coming to chill and hang tonight. Always have fun doing these sessions. Again, if I'm gonna stream, it's gonna be on a Wednesday. Maybe one of these days I'll do a surprise stream on like a Saturday or something like that. But Wednesdays are my days to stream if I am going to stream. I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I don't have, or some weeks I don't have time to stream. But when I do, it's gonna be on a Wednesday. If you want to check out any of my, if you want to check out my comic, you can find the links in the description, or check out any of my social medias. I'm most active on Instagram. I don't have a Discord yet. Maybe in the future that will be a thing. Maybe not. Seems like a little bit of work, but I actually do have plans for, like, if I do a Discord, I have some ideas that I would like to implement. But anyways, you can find me on Instagram. Art tutorial videos should make a return. I'm just figuring out how to, manage different projects and things right now, and work and everything. So be a little bit patient on that if you're expecting that. Streams are about the only thing that I can manage right now, where I can get work done and also just be able to chat with you guys. So yeah, that being said, I really wish everyone the best of luck working on projects, doing their for those of us still doing the day job thing and then art on the side. Best of luck to you guys as well. If you want to see past streams, again, it's on my Patreon. I think it's free. If not, it's like $1. All of them will always be like hosted there, and then the streams I do now will also be hosted on my YouTube, but only for like a couple months, and then I'm gonna take them down, so that way when people come to my page, it's just like straight tutorials and just like the most recent streams. So everyone should have plenty of time to check out the streams for as long as they want for free. So hopefully you guys have as much fun as I do. Yeah, and with that, I'm gonna close out and say good night to everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, peace.